shirt is literally just the one that I wore to sleep last night. I threw on some sweatpants and like,
Pretty
why
wacky.
not?
Nice.
Pretty wacky.
You have that Grace pen?
I do have a name too,
Can I use it?
I guess.
Gonna bring him luck.
Yeah.
All right. So our last question of our packet here, so that we'll be done with it. The American Red Cross says that about 11% of the U.S. population has type B blood. A blood drive is being held at your school. How many blood donors should the American Red Cross expect to collect from until it gets a donor with type B blood?
1 over P.
Yep. So 1 over 0.11, which is 9.09 people. What is the probability that the 10th blood donor is the first donor with type B blood?
Would that just be 1 over 10? Wait, never mind.
Nope, this is one of the formulas or calculator functions.
Geomet.
Yes.
PDF.
Yes.
I guessed that. I didn't know.
Wait, what? That all happened so quick.
It is geometric PDF of 0.11 and 10 because it's the probability that the 10th person, so it's specifically that one person that we're looking at is, and nobody before. Or if we were going to do it the other way, 0.89 to the 9th times 0.11.
Okay, that was what I was gonna say, but I didn't know if it was like.
Yeah, well, they're both the same. Either way, you'll get the same answer. And with that would be 0.038. So basically, there's a almost 4% chance that the first person is the 10th one. What is the probability that exactly 2 of the first 20 have type B blood? So we're looking for an exact amount within the first 20.
My mom just texted me that she's here to pick me up. That I can watch the video for the. Oh wait, is this on? Oh yeah, it's on video.
Yeah.
That's bad though, because I don't know what I'm doing.
That's why I'm here.
Oh, thanks, David.
Am I actually allowed to, like...
So if we're looking for an
Yes.
exact amount, is it PDF or CDF?
CDF? PDF.
PDF.
Oh, man.
CDF is when we're like adding them all up.
Okay.
And then this would be binom because it's not like at one specific time. It's just any point within that.
So can we think of CDF as, like, cumulative?
That is what that means.
Well, I wasn't sure if Chris knew that.
I didn't.
So, now he knows.
So we can
I
either
enjoyed laughing at you for like 5 seconds for it though.
either do binom PDF
I'll be back later.
for 20.11 and 2, or we can do the 20CR, like, or the NCR, so 20C2, so 20 things taken 2 at a time, times 0.11 to the second, and then 0.89 to the 18th would be the other way to do it. I would probably just use the calculator function myself, and this will give us 0.28 when we do this. So then what is the probability that at least 2 of the first 10 blood donors has type B blood? What do we think of when we hear at least?
You got this, Chris. You're brilliant.
Oh, I wrote C and D on accident. Okay, switch that. CDF.
Well, we will be using CDF.
I don't know.
That wasn't the answer to the question I asked, but we will be using a CDF.
Okay, so when we think at least, what do we think? I don't.
Josh said you're brilliant.
Yeah.
Your socks are nice.
Oh, compliment. Yeah.
We think compliment. So basically, we want at least 2. So that means 2 or more that have type B blood. And so that would be 1 minus the probability of 0 or 1. So on the calculator, this would be 1 minus the binom CDF, because we're adding them all up, of 10.11 and 1, because that says basically take off 0 or 1. Or if we wanted to do it the other way mathematically, it would be 1 minus, and then it would be 10C0 times 0.89 to the 10th, which says that there's no type B in the first 10, or the next one, 10C1 times 0.11, essentially to the first, meaning there's one type B person, and then 9 that are not, so raised 0.89 raised to the 9th. So either way we do this, we'll get the same answer, and we would get 0.30. So again, I would probably be using the calculator function binom CDF personally to do this one. I just think it's easier, but then E, the blood drive has a total of 150 donors. Assuming this is a typical number of donors for a school blood drive, what would the mean and standard deviation of the number of donors who have type B blood? You remember what the formula is for mean?
We had an earlier problem, right? I think we did.
I mean, not today, but yes. It's also a formula written on one of the formula questions in the packet. And while you're there, you can also look up the standard deviation formula if you want.
In this packet, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was on the second page, but I'm not 100% sure. Might have been page 3. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I know it was kind of early in the packet. I think it's on the packet.
Oh, yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3. M equals NP.
Yep. And what about standard deviation?
The NPQ squared.
Square root.
Square root, yeah.
Yep. So this will be 150 times 0.11. And then the standard deviation would be the square root of 150 times 0.11 times 0.89. So 150 times 0.11 is 16.5 people with type B. The standard deviation is 3.83 people with type B. So, surprised by the low number of type B blood donors at the blood drive, the American Red Cross wonders if the 11% estimate was too high for your area. I feel like it's very hard to say that from being at one school, but anyways.
Yeah.
How many type B blood donors would it take to convince you that this estimate might be too high?
I don't know. I don't know how to do that one.
All right, so let's first look at our conditions so that we can see if we can look at a normal model.
Okay.
So N times P and N times Q both have to be greater than 10. So I got 16.5, meaning that the other number has to be obviously higher than that because it's got to be the remainder of what's left over. So it would be, what, like 134-ish. So both of them are greater than 10. The 10% condition, 150 people is less than 10% of the population.
So there's no way this thing could be like too big, right?
Huh?
So there's no way, like, this isn't gonna be too big, right?
No. It just has to be less than 10% of the total population.
Okay.
There's not really, I mean, there is a too big at a point, but not in this scenario. And so we've got,
a billion people.
That might be too
That
big.
would be too big.
so we've got 16.5 people with type B. And 133.5 without type B. So looking at a normal model, the mean is 16.5, and I'm just going to count. Obviously, typically we would want to say like whole numbers, but I'm just going to round the standard deviation to a whole number of 4 to make the numbers easier. So this would be 20.5, 24.5, and 28.5, and then in the other direction, 12.5, 8.5, and 4.5. So we consider unusual anything more than 2 standard deviations away, but again, we obviously want whole numbers. We can't have a half a person, which since she had to leave, I'll show that video tomorrow while y'all are reviewing. But anyways, so more than 2 standard deviations away, if we say that the estimate is too high, then that would mean that we need a lower number. So I would say at 2 standard deviations, it's 8.5. So I would basically say if we saw anything less than 9 people with type B blood, then our estimate is too high. So if we saw less than 9 people, it would be considered too high. Because 2 SD away.
Oh, the last one wasn't it?
Yep. All right, problems. I'll put it up here, but I'm just going to say them really fast so that if she's listening, she can write them down. Is 1, 5, 9, 15, 25. Am I going too fast? Okay, 27 and 33.
1, 5, 9, 15, 25, 27, 33?
Yep.
Okay.